Hey everyone out there in YouTube land, it's Annette Dion, host of the Psychic News Network. How are you all doing? It's almost the weekend. It is August 20th. I believe the moon is in Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn going into Aquarius for the full moon in Aquarius. I almost forgot. It's been a busy day. So, yeah. Ooh. I'm just realizing that it's going to be a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, and I'm on the East Coast, and there's a hurricane coming. I don't know how I missed that. It just occurred to me. On the full moons, the tides are really high. We do need to look at that. Any of you that are also on the East Coast, I'm in the Boston area. That means that we don't have like a direct hit predicted, but I would say that for a psychic, my experience is one of the hardest things to predict is the trajectory of weather. Right now I'm seeing big damage. In my psychic mind, I see big damage. It's really supposed to hit right presently more on the south shore of Massachusetts than the north shore where I'm at, but we shall see, and we will take a look at that. I feel like it's only been a couple days, but I've got a volume of stuff to potentially read about today. So before I get into that, I want to just tell everyone that I had an idea today. I was walking and I was thinking about news stories that have fallen through the cracks. So I need audience participation here. I'd like to do a video exclusively on news stories that have fallen through the cracks, kind of like whatever happened to fill in the blank with the news story that we didn't know about. So just send me your ideas, just put them in the comments and I'll do that. If I get enough, I'll do it tomorrow on Saturday, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's first look at that hurricane, since that's on a lot of people's minds and it's kind of imminent. Full moon in Aquarius is the falling apart of the old to make way for the new. It's not particularly gentle. When I think Aquarius, I think lightning bolts, lightning strikes, where everything changes in a fraction of a second. So, asking the guides about the hurricane. Please send us safety vibes, safe vibes, protection. Because, I mean, we've seen some storms that, like the perfect storm. That story happened right here where I live. I knew people in that book. Yeah, the perfect storm, when that happened, that was a convergence of 3 weather systems. That was in 1991. And, you know, nowadays it's become, just to see, you know, the discrepancy between them. That was a freak thing in 1991. And then, you know, now it's just like normalcy for those kinds of storms. But that storm, the perfect storm, took out, there are books with pictures, took out entire homes. Just whoosh, one big wave, just like that. I wonder what the moon was in then. I'd have to go back and look that up. I wonder if it was a full moon. Probably was. All right, so the hurricane, what is it, Henry? I don't think they should name hurricanes after people. I think if my name was Henry, oh, Henrietta, yeah, I wouldn't like that. Like, you know, I'm sorry for all those Katrinas out there. I felt sorry for all the Katrinas when Hurricane Katrina came, because it was like, it's not a very common name, but still, if you said your name to someone, it's the first thing they'd think of. So my, you know, condolences to all the Henrys out there. But anyway, let's see what's going to happen with Hurricane Henry. It's supposed to hit like Sunday afternoon, I think. Well, this doesn't bode well. Look, it looks like things have fallen apart around him. The 8 of Cups. This is about the hurricane. On its way. Soon to be known within the next few days. We'll find out. Oh, and I actually was kind of looking at this a little bit today because somebody mentioned it. This is the same card that I got before. The star card, there's a lot of water. There's going to be a lot of flooding. Doesn't take a psychic to tell you that, because a tropical storm depression will produce a lot of rain torrential rain, torrential downpours. I see a lot of coastal flooding. I do see property being lost. Whew! The Prince of Cups. Yeah, you know, this card has like a scorpion here, so, which reminds me of the sign of Scorpio, which is like, there are going to be some unpredictable, kind of hidden repercussions from this storm. So we always say batten down the hatches when there's a big storm coming. Be safe. Really take it seriously, especially if you're on the south, and if you're in southern New England especially. This is one, I see evacuations, I see big evacuations. I wouldn't even go to the shore, especially the southeastern portion of New England. I see people being evacuated in droves. All right, so that's Henry. There you have it, you heard it here. I'm going to get to Afghanistan momentarily. In the meantime, I just want to mention that I saw a little bit of a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I didn't see Matt Gaetz. I couldn't. I would have just puked. But anyway, making 0 sense. Just seeming like she's pumped up on steroids. I don't know what that girl does, but it's really not good. I'm getting really tired. Well, I always was weary of all the vitriol. That was always a terrible thing to observe. It's still a terrible thing to observe. After 45, after 5 years, we're going on 6 years of him. He never went away. I'm really praying for the day that hatred is out of fashion. I'm telling you, we're learning some hard lessons. So I want to look at, I don't know, let's look at her. Let's look at her and Gaetz. So they had some kind of a rally. I don't know. It didn't look like it was very many people. But to listen to the lies, lie, it's just, it's all fiction. It's all made up stuff. Saying that Joe Biden is not doing things that he's doing. Crazy stuff. And wanting to impeach the president. And you know, it's not lost on me as we're watching what's going on in Afghanistan with the Taliban. You know, rogue, don't really know what they're doing, standing on their warped principles, their ideas that women don't have rights, that of course people don't have rights. They, you know, it's not that far removed from what some of these Republicans are espousing. It's insane, I tell you. It's pure insanity. And I want it to stop. So let's see what's going to happen to MTG. Sounds like a MTG sounds like a oil for your car. That's about what it's like too. All right, so I want to ask, what's going to happen to her? Oh, it's going to be a balancing act for her. It's not going to be an easy balancing act, and I see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez coming out of the woodwork and filing a lawsuit or something against Marjorie because she keeps inciting violence against AOC. And you know, it's just because she's smart. It's just because AOC is smart. It's another Taliban thing, you know. I'm not saying the GOP is the Taliban, but it wasn't lost on me that Bober, whatever her name is, was siding with the Taliban. So the Taliban doesn't like for women to be educated. In fact, it's forbidden for women to be educated. They're lying through their teeth, the Taliban is, to say that they're going to let women still have an education because nothing could be further from the truth. Are you seeing the parallels? Because I am. And if anything, the situation with the Taliban should put a magnifying glass on what's happening here, because there are a lot of parallels. I know it's not the same, but there are a lot of parallels. And that really hit home when I saw the photograph of the Taliban in the presidential palace in Afghanistan after their president fled. The same thing happened here. But for the grace of God, we made it through. Still challenged, not nearly as challenged, But let's all put on our thinking caps and think about ways that we can get these people, put them in their place, the GOP Republicans that are all for letting people die, all for taking away women's rights, all for taking away voting rights, all for people being poor and struggling and not having a working wage. These GOP Republicans that are all for not giving us our infrastructure bill, not passing that. They're all for that. They're all for taking over all our rights and taking them away. It's not that much different. Can I get a witness? Anyway, I see lawsuits against Marjorie Taylor Greene. I do. And Gaetz, you know, the guides are just telling me, Gaetz, it's not even worth reading on him. He's going down fast in flames. But just out of curiosity, I can't help myself. I know, it's kind of icky to tap into this energy. All right, we'll pick two cards on Gaetz, just out of curiosity. And if you're sensitive, if you're psychic or just sensitive or intuitive and you look at these people, you really can't for very long without feeling nauseous. It's a visceral reaction. It's pretty bad. So we gotta just focus on love. Love, 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 love. Matt Gaetz. All right, I picked 3. Justice. Justice, justice. These women that he was sex trafficking are going to speak out. One in particular that knows all is going to tell all. I haven't been following the Matt Gaetz story, but there's a female who knows all that's going to tell all. Something tells me, I think I saw a news story about this a while back. It's his cousin or something. There's a woman that knows all about Gaetz, and she's going to tell all. And I do see a book, too. Maybe she'll write a book. Yeah. Gaetz, I got the Justice card first off the bat. Matt Gaetz has got a lot coming down the road for him to take him away. Oh, well. Karma's a bitch. Seriously. All right, so what next? I didn't make a list today. Let's look at 45. It's getting closer and closer for it. You know, there's so much becoming crystal clear. You can expect that around this upcoming full moon in a couple of days. We're feeling it now. You can expect a lot of things to be coming crystal clear, especially in terms of 45 and the crimes that he committed. It's being shown that he was the one that incited the coup. There's a lot of evidence. The guides are just showing me volumes of evidence that he's treasonous. And I went on the other day, and I know I said too much, and I will answer you who asked me to send an email about what I knew that I didn't feel freedom to say on YouTube, because I have to always say this is for entertainment purposes only, and it's only based on my psychic impressions, not facts. They're facts to me, but they're not facts to you, right? Psychic facts. I think there's such a thing. So there's a lot that we won't know, but there's a lot that I'm intuiting, and it has, if you want to know more, I will answer your email about it. I'm going to just type it up and just copy and paste it in an email. So what I've been picking up about what is underneath all this that's been going on, all this crime, these crime circles, these sort of mob circles, the kingpins, who's really running the show, who has been causing America to divide, become so divided. There's a lot of psychological manipulation that's going on. That's why 45's followers are really have so many qualities of a cult, so many. Read Stephen Hassan's book, The Cult of Trump. Sometimes I have to say his name. Excellent book. He's a cult specialist. He exited a cult and many years ago, and he's written that and Combating Cult Mind Control. Really good books. Steve Hassan, hats off to you. So 45, is it getting closer? That's what we're going to ask. Is justice coming closer? I've been saying September. I know we've been waiting forever. People are complaining Merrick Garland is taking too long. But I got to tell you, there's a reason that everything's taken too long. There are a lot of dark people to navigate around to get to justice. The Star card, as I say, and I mentioned Revealing Light, sees this, Mariana Revealing Light sees this as the card for America. This is America's going to win. Once again, I picked the Justice card and the Five of Swords. He's not going to, the Five of Swords shows a man who's on the ground and there's swords all around him, and he's in a kind of like a submissive position, like I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck on the ground here with these swords around me. Very much suggests jail for 45. Oh, I just noticed something. I was calling this a Justice card. This is a Magician card. They look very similar. I just looked quick. So the Magician card indicates that they're it was really just what I was saying. They're having to manipulate their way through all the dark people that are still hanging around the White House in that administration that shouldn't be there, much like a lot of those Republicans have no business being in positions of leadership and power and being in positions of being public servants, because that they're so far removed from being public servants. So yes, 45 has it coming. Don't you worry, just pray and attend, right? Magician, that's a great card. So the Magician is there are a lot of hoops to jump through to get justice to be served. Merrick Garland is one of those, I pick up on his energy as, one of those people. I can just see it, I don't know if he drinks tea, but, he's having a cup of tea and taking the tea bag out at 3.5 minutes flat and putting it on the side in the proper position. This is the energy of Merrick Garland. It's like everything has to be right in place, and we should be glad for that. We're not glad it's taking so long, but there will be nothing to argue against because it's going to be black and white. It's going to be right in front of everybody's eyes. Like a lot of things are. We just need justice to happen. So let's ask that question I know I just asked a similar question, but I want a little bit more on that. I want a little bit more on how much justice is going to be served, kind of. All right, so how you guys doing? Are you cool? It's still warm in New England. Very, very humid. The air feels like I'm swimming. That's what it feels like. Okay, so justice will happen. We want to know how incriminating it's going to be. Or are they just going to get him on, I don't know, Letitia James on tax evasion? How bad is it going to be? The Magician again. Letitia James. Yeah, it's going to be a culmination of the two. The Fool card, that's 45 just... Wow, I gotta say, I did see him on Fox News making 0 sense. I don't know how Sean Hannity does it. I don't know how he can... It looks really ridiculous. Sean Hannity's there interviewing 45, and 45 is making 0 sense. And I'm not just saying that. He's making no sense. He's not answering the questions. He's having disconnected thoughts and ideas. And Sean Hannity's there I swear, he's like this. Sean Hannity's there like this. As if 45 is saying something really thoughtful and interesting and intriguing. Thought-provoking. Yeah, interesting. But anyway, so 45 has a rally coming up in Alabama, maybe? I'm not sure where it is. Someplace where they have a hell of a lot of COVID cases. I'm telling you, I don't know how they get away with it, honestly. And he's gonna really lose people. just like making no sense. I think I think it's his dementia that even causes him to get out there in front of a crowd. Like he's misjudging his mental competence. We all know that, you know, malignant narcissists do things, or they're a certain way and they point directly to another person and say that they're that. We've seen enough of that, right? We certainly have gotten an education about really nefarious mental health conditions that are like, you know, sociopathy and narcissism. We've gotten an education. It's useful. I've counseled a lot of people that have to deal with narcissists, and it's not pretty, and it's very, very, very nefarious. What am I reading on now? Anyway, I'm gonna go to Afghanistan in a moment. But the guides are telling me to talk about Jared Kushner for some reason. He's probably going to pop up in the news this week. Yeah, he's going to be in the news this week. Jared Kushner. The guides are showing me Jared Kushner saying something he shouldn't say, it being captured on tape, and it being used against him. But it feels current. It doesn't feel like it's in the past. So Jared is going to say something extremely incriminating about himself. I don't think it happened a long time ago. I think it's pretty recent. And it's going to come out. I don't know why the guides are showing me a Matt Gaetz connection to Jared Kushner. That doesn't make any sense to me. The Two of Swords. Okay, Kushner right now, this is why I'm getting this, is working on negotiating for something to not look as bad as it actually is. He's actually, you know, I'm seeing moving some chess pieces. That's what the guides are showing it to me like that. Attempting to strategize how he can get out of trouble. Jared Kushner. And the guides are saying he's trying to strategize how to hide things. This has to do with Russia. I gotta tell you something. So last night, I'm on the phone talking to my mom for a little while, and I get a spam call that comes in while I'm on a call, and I had just gotten done, well, I did the video a couple days ago, and I started telling you all this stuff about this foreign enemy. I might have said, yes, I did say it a couple times, the name of the country. So I get a spam call, and guess what it said? It said Russia. I'm not kidding you. That's why I say for entertainment purposes only, right? That really happened. Anyway, Jared is going to be in trouble because I actually think Ivanka is going to let something slip too. I know Ivanka's blonde and this woman's a brunette, but I do feel like, man, it just feels like a big problem. What he says, like, whoa, did he really say that? It's like a moment of losing his mind and not recognizing that it's something he shouldn't say. And it has to do with a foreign enemy. When I think Jared Kushner, I get Middle East more than Russia, but they're all connected. We know Russia's connected to Afghanistan, right? We know that. We know that Russia has always wanted to have complete control over Afghanistan. We know that we're going to Afghanistan next. A lot of countries are going to rally to help the people of Afghanistan because they really don't want that country to fall. I mean, we know it's pretty much already fallen. I mentioned the Taliban has no idea how to run a country. We know that that's a fact. How would they know how to run a country? I do want to speak to the way that I've seen the anchors on Fox propaganda channel. The way that I've seen them, their hearts are black. They're like tar black oozing. The hearts of the people on the Fox propaganda network. Their hearts are like oozing with blackness. Do they even, they probably do see the pictures of the Afghan people. To see what those people are going through, and to not have that bring up a sense of compassion. And oh my God, but for the grace of God, that could be us. Not that we're only looking at ourselves about it, but to not have any sense of, we have to help those people. Those are our brothers and sisters. We are all one. To not even muster up a little tiny, little smidgen of compassion, of caring. The Fox propaganda channel is the height of hatred and darkness and evil, all on full display. So here we're in a time in this world, you know, we're all here for a reason. We're in a time where we have to decide what we're going to give energy to. Just like that old Native American story, which wolf will grow? The one that you feed. So let's feed the love. Let's feed the compassion. Let's feed the kindness. Let's grow that. Because the horrificness that I'm seeing with the GOP Republicans that are letting kids die, we still have to get to COVID too. I guess it's going to be kind of a long video. Letting kids die, wanting the Afghans to stay there, the interpreters that helped American troops to survive, that American troops owe their lives to these Afghan interpreters, for the people on Fox propaganda to be saying they have no right to be coming to this country for their lives to be saved. May God's... I won't say. I just got to send the love. May, you know, but may they just be shut up. Let's just put it that way. It's abhorrent. It's the kind of darkness that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. That is for sure. So we're going to ask, is this going to come to a place where things settle down and the Afghan people have hope? You got to hand it to them. They were out there taking down the Taliban's flag and replacing it with the Afghan flag. They are out there marching and protesting. These people are doing that knowing that they could be shot and killed on the spot. The chances of it are very high. And they're out there anyway because they've got nothing to lose. So losing their lives, it's worth it to fight for freedom. These are interesting times that we're in. So we're going to look at, I'm going to look at whether things are going to settle down to some degree pretty soon for the Afghan people. I've been saying all along, I see world leaders coming in, troops coming in and providing aid. And I did say the other day that I see American troops there again just to help. Yeah, the lovers is, this is bringing the love out. This is bringing our love out. It's, you know, the darkness is coming out, but the darkness is going to lose in people's hearts. I mean, this is opening up people's hearts. I said that the other day. I really do get that. We will do the right thing. It was a wrong thing to go to war with Afghanistan. It's done. There's 20 years. There's nothing we can do. But we can help the Afghan people. So this is the Prince of Wands. This is actually this is representing the U.S. troops. And if you've been watching the news, I did see a lot of video of, so sweet, the U.S. troops, you know, like playing with the kids and getting them to laugh. And I'm telling you, I can't. Yeah, I'm glad that I have a heart. This is the Ace of Wands. There will be something triumphant for the Afghans. I know that's probably a stretch for me to say that, but I do see a win for the Afghan people. In terms of other nations rallying and helping them out, where they're not standing completely alone. Let's remember, this just happened. You know, the U.S. withdrew the troops, you know, just, I don't remember what day it was, but it was recent. So there's time for things to, you know, unfold and change. And it's funny, I don't see the women in full-on burqas like the Taliban wants. I actually see women rejecting that and protesting. They have more power than we might realize. Okay, so one more thing. I'm sweating. I dropped the card, like I always do. Let's look at COVID. Yeah, I did predict that DeSantis would have lawsuits. He'd be facing lawsuits. I see the same for Abbott. I don't know if that happened yet, but actually, the federal government is going to swoop in, and they're going to there's going to be lawsuits against DeSantis. You know, more than he can really handle, and also Abbott, the big goon. He has a gathering, invites all these old people. Nothing against old people, but he invited all these old people and spread COVID all over the place. Hopefully they were vaccinated, but you know, if you can keep the people from getting COVID, why not? But I'm telling you, it's the minds of sociopathic murderers. That's what we're talking about, and I'm not just saying that. That's what we're talking about. A sociopath doesn't care if people die. A sociopath is, you know, murderers are sociopaths. There's a disconnect in the brain. Let's get it right. There's a disconnect in the brain where they do not feel compassion. So if they show you that they're evil, believe them. They are evil. Let's stop looking for the glimmer of hope that they have some drop of compassion in them, because they just don't. Their brains aren't wired that way. Plus, they're under cult consciousness. So, a lot of children are going to die. I already told you that. It's terrible. I don't want to say that. I'm just telling you like I see it. It's going to be the hardest lesson that America has ever learned. We're facing some hard questions, hard situations. So I'm going to just look for like an overview of Florida and Texas. Yeah. How many times do I still get this card? The federal government is coming into Florida and Texas, and probably Alabama. The Four of Swords, a lot of people dead and sick. The King of Pentacles, it's actually in the long run, we don't want it to happen this way, but it actually is going to make this current administration look like the rescuer. You know, this is not political. This is like, who's going to help us? Who's going to help the people? Crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So I'm sweltering once again. So I will see you in a couple of days. Probably Sunday. What's today? Friday? Yeah, probably Sunday. And I'll give you the scoop on the hurricane. But I'll see you if you want to post your questions for the news that slipped through the cracks. When I get enough questions, when I get like 5 or 6 questions for the news that slipped through the cracks, I was thinking of that Russian dissident. I forget his name. Starts with an N. Like, whatever happened to him? Or the guy in Belarus, the protester. Whatever happened to? We're gonna do a segment called that, just to mix it up and keep it interesting. Like it's not interesting enough. Thank you so much for your kind comments, and please share. When I get 1,000 viewers, I mean, some psychics have 40,000 viewers. I don't know what it took them to get that, but anyway, we're all good. If you can share, that'd be great. If you can subscribe, that would be great. When I get 1,000 subscribers, I then can go live and answer your questions live, and that's always fun, like Milu the psychic does. He's great. Milu's there every day at noon. I've got to send him an email. Other things coming up, as you know, tarot from the castle. We're teaching an 8-week tarot class from a real medieval castle here where I live in Massachusetts. That starts September 1st. You can sign up at hammondcastle.org. I will put the link in the comment section. You'll be a certified tarot card reader then you have to practice. At the end of the class, I'll send you a certificate, and it's going to be a blast. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you'd like to book a psychic tarot reading. And I'm also a spiritual life coach, and I love that work too. Have a great couple of days, and I'll see you soon, and I'll let you know what's going on with the hurricane. Namaste. Bye.